one. Oh, it's recording.
Hello. Welcome back to Uncategorized. I'm Gabi.
I'm Kati.
And today's starting topic is phases we went through as teenagers.
But also things we were obsessed with.
Yeah. So, Kati, you're going to start this one off because I have to think of mine.
Honestly, I'm still going through that whole emo phase. But that's just a different story. When I was younger, like 12, is when I started my whole emo phase. I would refuse to wear anything that was colorful. Aside from bright red lipstick. And as a 12-year-old, that did not look good, and nobody saw me. And that was bad. There was a time I went through that whole cat phase. My cat died, and then after my cat died, how do I even phrase that? How do I even say, like, I wasn't reincarnated.
I can phrase it. When Kati's, Jesus Christ.
That's the second time you called me that this week.
It always happens every time I'm going to say Kat and Kati. When Kati's cat died, the way that she grieved it was by becoming her cat.
I would wear cat ears or a halo. She was dead. And by a halo, not an actual halo. It was a glow stick that I wrapped around my head. It's obviously a lot easier for people who are watching this on YouTube to see it happening, but I would wear black and blue eyeshadow and then black and blue eyeshadow, so like it was like reversed. I had rainbow nails. I don't know how people didn't know I was gay. And I cut the fingers off of my gloves, and I would put on like cat whiskers.
Not only were you going through a cat and emo phase, you decided to blend them together. You were going through an emo cat phase. And if anyone is curious, I do have that picture of her as a cat as her contact picture in my phone.
Yeah, so
and
if you guys
that we know is watching this, I will send it to you.
Is that a threat or a promise, or what are we talking here?
Both. If you don't ever like make me mad at all, but if you ever piss me off, I'm just like, Kati, I have that picture of you as a cat.
Before I deleted 500 pictures on my Instagram, that was one of my pictures. I already put myself out there for the world to see.
For those watching on YouTube, it's her cat ears on, and her gloves and her makeup, and she's doing this.
Is that the one from Florida, or is that the one from when she, like, the day after she died? Because there's two. Because there's one where I'm just going.
No, you're going like this with both your hands, like, in a little paw, and you have your face, like.
That was Florida.
Oh, my God. This is incredible. Anyway, I went through a few different obsessions as a kid.
Mufasa.
That was not yeah, it was. Okay, so this is going to be the third time that I'm exposing myself about this today. When I was 7 years old, my first, like, serious crush, like, serious feelings for another thing was Mufasa from The Lion King. He is Daddy Lion, in case you have never seen Mufasa.
I can't believe you just used the word daddy.
I know. I'm growing. I used to hate that word. I used to not ever be able to say that word. Anyway, yeah, Mufasa was my first crush. Not because I didn't have any, like, sexual feelings towards him. I was 7. But I just saw him, and his voice was so deep, and he was just, like, he just ruled, and he was amazing. And I was like, wow, what a man in charge. So then, when I was about 12 years old, I was 12 in, like, the 6th grade, began the Justin Bieber obsession. I was a hardcore believer.
Those are the days.
Also, his music was so good back then. He every now and then he puts out some, like, good songs now, but back then his music was amazing.
And it just kept getting better after he came out with Baby.
Every time. I liked Baby. I know that it's the most disliked video on YouTube, and I know that, like, people shit on it.
Is it actually the most disliked video?
I think so, unless something else has beat its record. I think
YouTube Rewind
like,
2018.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That might be it. But I genuinely liked all of his music. I was obsessed with him. I was in love with him. He was so attractive to me. And my best friend at the time was also, she was more obsessed with him than I was. On her birthday, she had 14 posters of him in her room, all of the merch that he ever came out with. On her 12th birthday cake, her parents had the Baker Wright Happy Birthday Grace Bieber on it. I just said her name. Happy birthday, whatever. Grace
It's too
Bieber.
late. It's over.
It's too late.
As if we didn't name people in our last podcast.
Yeah. So she was more obsessed with me, but no, she was more obsessed than me with Justin. But he was my first hardcore like musician obsession. And this next one, it's not a phase because I'm still currently in it.
If you don't say One Direction, yeah, I was like, if you don't say One Direction, we're gonna have issues, you and I. Those were
that's
good.
not a phase. I am in that. I love One Direction. I have loved them since like 2012. I started loving them when I was 12 or 13. I'm currently 21. I'm still obsessed with them. Louis Tomlinson, if you're watching this, leave your girlfriend. I love you. I know you're almost 30, but that's okay. Age is but a number.
Jail is but a what? I'm sorry. Gabi is legal. Gabi is legal. Gabi just turned 21 yesterday.
Woo! Anyway, I love their music. I have every single album that they have ever come out with. I have watched every single interview, every single video they've put out on YouTube, all their music videos, all the 1D Day stuff, every TV special they did. I have the majority. I have all of their solo music too. I have a playlist on my phone that says 1D solo music. It's right next to my One Direction playlist. I love them. I think they're amazing. They got so freaking famous so fast, and they could have so easily been just the biggest assholes in the world with the amount of fame that they had. Like, they could have just been shitty people, but they weren't. And I love them.
Did you also watch the X Factor Diaries?
No.
You didn't watch the X Factor Diaries?
The X Factor Diaries? Yeah, I thought you
Okay. I was like, yo, those ones are good. X Factor Diaries.
The like no Jimmy protested and the like all their quotes and of course, Kati, I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. I'm 21 years old. I'm still obsessed with them. I love them so much. And then, hey, by the way, if anyone from One Direction, if you're watching this, which clearly you are, because I mean we're famous.
Of course.
But could you just like, if you're not gonna actually come back, listen. I do want you to come back. I want you to come back for at least one more album, okay? That's all I need. I don't need you to, like, come back for years. I just need one more album. But if you're not going to do that, can you just, like, tell us, hey, guys, it's done. Like, we're over, you know? We've moved on. We've closed that chapter of our lives. Let's all move on.
That is the reunion. They just get together to tell everybody that it's not happening?
To tell everyone to fuck off, yeah.
Dude, I swear, because the rumors only start because people have that theory that, like, if we just say that it's happening, everyone will believe it's happening, and then it'll happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it though? Is it happening? Is it?
But my thing is, my heart can't take it anymore. My heart can't take anymore. I just like everything is always like, oh, we're still a band. They're like, oh yeah, we're just on a break, or like we're coming back. The fuck you are. I just need them to tell me. It's been how many years? No. Like 5 years.
I was about to say like 4 years, 5 years. Yeah. Are they
5 years?
Then again, My Chemical Romance came back together at some point.
That's true. But
there goes my emo face.
But my thing is like, I don't know how much every time that another like little theory or something comes out, I get just as excited and I'm like, oh my god, it's happening, and then nothing fucking happens. And it's just so much work on my little heart. So anyway, I just rambled on for so long about that. Do you have any current obsessions?
I watch The Fault in Our Stars every single night.
Okay, but that's not, Kati has this thing. It's not obsession. I think it's just because of your anxiety. She watches this same movie, but she doesn't even watch it. So before bed, she'll put on a movie. But she just puts it on to, like, hear the noise, and then she'll, like, fall asleep to it. But she puts on the same one every night. She has seen Frozen 2, I don't even know how many times.
Too many times.
Moana, I don't even
Oh my god, Moana, I had
Moana.
kept track of it, and I lost track at 32.
32? Yeah.
Frozen 2, I lost track. I was watching that every night, like, multiple times a night for... It came on Disney Plus on, what, in, like, March?
I think so.
Yeah. If I didn't watch Frozen 2, it was, like, Inside Out or Coco or something else. Anyway, I have this thing where, like, I just have to watch the same movie every single night. And it's not one of the, like, I could watch different movies every single night. Yeah. It's fine. But it's so much easier for me to just fall asleep if I watch the same one every night.
That's why I don't think it's an obsession, because if it was an obsession of yours, you'd be like, oh my god, yeah, like, I love Frozen 2 so much. I just have to watch it all the time. I have all the merchandise. I have all the merch. Like, I listen to the music first of all, Into the Unknown, such a good song.
Oh, the other one too.
Show Yourself?
Yeah, I was going to say Moist It Out There, and it's because it's in Spanish.
Moist It Out There. By the way, if you didn't know, why would you? Kati and I are Hispanic. Kati is Puerto Rican.
Gabi is Colombian and Venezuelan. But she was born in Jamaica.
Ah, I beat you to
it. We're the same person. We're the same person.
Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't say that's an obsession of yours. That just has to, because I watch the same YouTube. I fall asleep. Jenna Marbles is my comfort YouTuber, and I watch her videos every night to fall asleep too. Not because they're boring, but just because I've seen them so many times that I literally know what she's gonna say. That's
okay. When does it become obsession? Because I feel like TikTok was an obsession for a while, and I only say that because there's only 24 hours in the day, and my phone would notify me that I have spent over 10 hours on TikTok in one day, multiple times, multiple days in the week.
I think that would be more as an addiction. I think there's a difference between an obsession and
where do we draw the lines? Okay, what would you say is more, like, you know me well. What would you say is more obsession?
For you? Oh my gosh.
I feel like I'm either, like, what is it, all or nothing? So either I'm fully in and it becomes an addiction, or I'm not all the way deep. Like, One Direction, loved them, but not enough to watch every single movie and in every single interview and every single thing.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, also loved him, but I also never watched any of his interviews. I just listened to his music. Jonas Brothers, I had some of their merchandise. High School Musical. High School Musical was that's what it was.
How did I not say High School Musical? My name's Gabriella, first of all. Yeah.
My 10th birthday was High School Musical themed.
Really? I didn't know that.
It was one of my few birthdays that I ever had. So I had my first birthday
party. You're 21.
Sorry. I do have birthdays, just party. So I grew up in upstate New York, where it snows, and every single one of my birthdays had blizzards. I was born in the middle of a snowstorm, so that'll just show you that. But I had my first birthday, my 5th birthday, my 10th birthday, and my 13th birthday. My 15th birthday, and I had pneumonia for my 18th birthday.
You have pneumonia like every year.
Yeah. But we didn't really, I don't know. Anyway, those were like the birthdays that I definitely had. So
how did I not mention High School Musical? I'm still obsessed with High School Musical.
I still watch that movie all the time. The third one, though.
The third one is great. I know people shit on the third one. The third one's great. The worst
everybody
one is
like, okay, no, I was going to say everybody shits on the second one. No, everybody loves the second one, and that's the one that I shit on the most.
I shit on the second one so much. I listen, I still love it, but it's the worst out of the 3.
Okay, and then it has like that secret like deleted scenes or whatever, and it's the one about like, I'm gonna butcher this so hard. It's huma huma numa numa aku apua ah. Anyway, that one.
Yeah.
A shittiest song I've ever heard in my life. I'm kidding. It's not. I've heard worse, but that is why I shit on the second movie so much. Although there are some.
You know what's the worst song? Love that one. A worst song is the song that was going around on TikTok that one chick wrote. That's like, and we're fighting in a grocery store. I love you, but I don't know if I like you anymore. You don't know what I'm talking about. Kati,
At me
you're
spends
on
10
TikTok
plus
more
hours
than
on
me.
TikTok
How
and
do
I
you
have
not
no idea what
know?
you're talking about.
If we had people watching this, I would tell them to comment if they knew what I was talking about.
You know
That
what?
was good.
Here's the thing. We might have people in the future watching this that will want to come back here just to comment.
Okay. Well, they will all say that they know what I'm talking about. You watch TikTok more than I do, and you don't know that song. This one chick like wrote that song, and people were shitting on it because it's horrible, but it was so funny. It was going on for the longest time. Anyway, third High School Musical, the best.
First one is obviously the original, so that's the one that's like, oh, it's good. The one that I'm going to watch the most is definitely the third one. And the one that I shit on, still the second one. All I'm saying is they had like some songs in there that are very questionable, but then they had Gotta Have My Own Way. And then they had
Work It Out.
Work It Out. On it. They had good songs.
Good.
But the movie itself. the movie itself.
You know what's my favorite part of the second movie? Is the end when they all jump in the pool and they zoom in on... They zoom in on like Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens swimming, but Vanessa Hudgens is like about to drown in the water. Like you can see her like trying to put a smile on, and she's like, there's like water going into her mouth, and everyone's like having the time of their lives around, and Vanessa's just like about to die. That's my favorite part of the second movie.
Two of my favorite parts were the end where Miley Cyrus is like featured. That was like
her
the whole like, who's gonna be the celebrity? Who's gonna be the one that's gonna be in the movie? I was over it after the second time I watched it. But the second favorite part that I have is the end. When it ended, that was good.
Oh my God. Listen.
Bet on It was pretty good too.
Bet on It?
The one where he's like,
every
day.
Bet on It still? Every day.
Oh, that one was good. I'm talking about the one where he's like pots and pans and like hitting everything and then like doing that little...
Work It Out. Please,
yeah, that one was good too.
Work it out. They have some really good songs, but the movie itself was yeah. Oh, unpopular. Actually, no, this is a popular opinion that I found out. The character of Gabriella sucks. She's horrible. She didn't deserve Troy.
Vanessa Hudgens or no, Gabriella?
No, not Vanessa Hudgens. The character of Gabriella. She's a whiny bitch.
He was simping so hard for her. Like in the third movie, let's just discuss that. He drove all the way from whatever state he was in, all the way to he drove from Albuquerque. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Okay, anyway, he drove all the way from fucking New Mexico, all the way to Stanford, where she was in California, just so that he could have the one dance for what was it, prom? They didn't even go to prom together. He was all up in a tree in a tuxedo. Nobody simped harder than Troy.
She did not deserve him. Let's not even talk about how in the first movie he risked his social ostracization from his entire like crew and the whole school, because he was like the captain of the basketball team and he was like a jock, and he was about to risk it all to like go do this musical for her. And she was like, I gotta go my own way. What about us? Sorry. Like,
what about everything we've been through?
You know who's the underrated character?
Chad.
Sharpay.
Oh.
Let's go. We'll talk about
Zeke.
it in a second. Honestly, yeah. But Sharpay was my favorite. I had a Barbie of Sharpay. I had a Sharpay Barbie.
I feel like I did too.
In her red out shirt with the gold pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're the same person.
I loved her. I know. But let's go into this conspiracy theory that, the second movie they have I Can't Dance or I Don't Dance. Such a good song.
I Say You Can. Okay, so basically all the movie was good. I mean, all the music was good and the whole movie was shitty. I don't know how we got this far, but I think that the music in the other two was just better.
Yeah, but let's go into the conspiracy theory that I Don't Dance is about Ryan trying to get Chad to admit that he's gay. Because we all know that Ryan was bi.
At least.
At least.
Well, then he
bi.
had that whole thing with like Kelsey.
If not full homosexual, he was bi. But there was that conspiracy theory that the whole I Don't Dance was him being like, come on, man. Like, I know you can. I know you are. Like, you're not fooling anyone.
Something about swinging that way and like whatever else.
Because here's the thing. Chad was total, like, toxic masculinity. Like, oh, no, you're not a real man if you're singing show tunes. Shut the fuck up, Chad. Like, we know that you're bopping to Wizard of Oz.
Here's the thing. Of course his name is Chad.
Right? So I think Chad was bi. I think he's bi. And I think Ryan smelled it on him and he was like, come on, man. Like, just say it. No one cares.
You think he smelled it on him?
He smelled the homosexual.
He's like, oh, I smell that fruity.
Oh, I got a whiff. But yes. What's your favorite song from the third movie?
Can I Have This Dance? I say that now, but there were so many other songs in that movie that like.
So good.
The first one. Song. The first song.
What's the first?
What is it called? Now or Never?
Oh, 16. That one, so good. I think I love Sharpay's song in that one, the I Want It All. I want it all.
Yes. Oh my goodness. The other one, dude, I love that song, but like a very specific portion of it where it's almost like a harmony in a way. Like I just love the way it sounds.
It's so good. It's so good. Just like the whole production of it, the amount of people, the props that they had, the costumes, them doing the can, it was amazing.
I really like when it's Sharpay comes on stage, Troy's not there. It's the other kid that's there, the new one, the freshman or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're like singing. I like that song too, and I loved it even more when it was Troy and Gabriella.
What was that song? Even if we're miles apart, all I wanna do is be with you, be with you. Okay, that one, and yes. Also underrated song. It's gonna be a night.
Yes.
To remember.
The whole soundtrack. Yeah. There's one song from High School Musical, one that I don't like. It's in my playlist.
That you don't like from the first one?
I like every single. No, I think it's from the first one.
I said from the first one, and you go, nah. I think it's
from the first one. Come on, Gabby, it's from the first one. Come on. Let me find it. Because I know it's in this playlist.
It's gonna be. I'll just sing while you're there. It's gonna be.
I can't take my eyes off of you.
How does that one go? I don't even remember that one. Sounds like elevator music. What part of the movie was that?
That's what I was saying. Why is this in my playlist?
Stop that. I don't want to hear it anymore. That disgrace. Oh, I just dropped everything.
Anywho. Oh my god, anyway. Yeah, no, that every single time that song comes on my playlist, I just skip it. I don't even remember that being part of the first movie. I
don't either.
And I watched the first movie recently.
I haven't. I'm going to watch.
It's the one that's like, I can't take my eyes off of you.
No idea. No idea.
But here's the thing. I don't feel like I hate any song. I feel like I dislike some songs, but I've never been like, wow, I absolutely just hate that song. There was one song I ever hated in my life, and I regret ever saying I hated it, but it was Royals by Lorde. I hated that song. And then
I did too.
A couple weeks later, I was like, actually, it's kind of good.
I disliked that song for so long because I thought it was so annoying. And then I listened to it a bit later, and I was like, actually, it's pretty good. I never told anyone that I actually liked it, but it was pretty good. Let's talk about the way that the song Breaking Free made me feel. So good.
I feel like I cry every single time.
We're breaking free, sorry. Okay. We got to reel this in a bit. You went through, I mean, it's not really a phase because you're still in it, your emo phase. I never went through an emo phase, but I am obsessed with emo bands and their music.
You know what? I was going to talk about how I loved Hollywood Undead for quite some time. But again, I never watched like their interviews or anything like that. I just vibed with their music.
Yeah, I never, because I really, really love more so old school, but still some new stuff. Panic at the Disco.
Yes.
Love.
Absolutely. Their last album that they just dropped,
so good. But I never
Wicked,
watched like
loved.
I never liked I never watched like I was never, the only band I've ever done that for was One Direction.
And Justin Bieber. But he's not really a band, but like
no,
also
he's a solo act. What?
No, that was it. That
was it? Oh, that was it? Okay.
That was it. Cool. That was the whole thing.
Let's see. Do you have any other obsessions? Like currently? My current obsession is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, if you will. If you don't know who that is, I highly recommend. I won't get into the whole political aspect of this. That's for a different podcast. If you don't know who that is, go check her out. Anyway, she's my current obsession. I'm obsessed with her.
I mean, like, I'm obsessed with apples.
With apples? Mm-hmm. I think apples are kind of like an overrated fruit. Yeah, I said it. What you gonna do?
I also like celery.
That's fucking disgusting. I don't like raw celery. I'll eat celery when it's cooked.
I eat celery with raw with sunflower butter.
No, I can't do raw celery. The taste is too much for me.
It tastes mostly like water.
No, it doesn't.
What kind of celery are you eating?
The normal kind. What kind of celery are you eating that it tastes mostly like water?
Celery.
Do you know what tastes mostly like water? Cucumbers. Do you know why? Because they're like 90% water.
Celery's like 95% water.
Celery does not taste like water. You're out of your mind if you think it tastes like water.
What does celery taste like for you, huh? Uncooked.
Not water. It has like when it's raw, it has like a bitter taste. Like it's too strong. Never in my life have I bitten into celery and been like, ugh, it tastes like water. If it
celery
tastes like water,
celery is 90% water.
It does not taste. I wish so much that we had people watching. It does not taste like water. Are you kidding me?
The flavor of celery, it's a crisp and slightly sweet alternative that more accurately resembles a starchy fusion of a potato and a turnip. I've never had a turnip, so I wouldn't be able to promise that one.
Never in my life would I describe celery as slightly sweet.
Really? It's kind of like candy to me.
What the fuck is going on with your taste buds?
It's not like candy.
Oh,
it's not like candy. It just tastes plain to me, and then that's why I put sunflower butter, and then it just tastes like a happy smack. It
definitely doesn't taste plain to me. There's a very prominent, potent just taste that raw celery has. I'll eat it cooked. I can still kind of taste the very prominent taste when it's cooked, but it's less so. The opposite, I refuse to eat cooked carrots. I will only eat raw carrots. You don't eat carrots in general.
At all.
Why is that? Why?
This is going to be the trademark quote. I'm going to put it on a hoodie or something one day. I don't like carrots because they make me gag.
Yeah. And the first time Kati told me that, we were standing
in the lunch line.
Our professor just emailed us tonight. We were standing in the lunch line. It was just the prompt for the thing we have to do later.
Yes. Thank God.
We were standing in the lunch line and we were just having a normal conversation and it was revolving around carrots. And then Kati out of nowhere goes, I don't like carrots because they make me gag. And I'm reluctant to say the next quote that you told me because it might be controversial.
Is it about cows?
No, it's about albino people.
We could just talk about the Supreme Court. Dude, I had some pretty out there quotes.
Yeah, do you want to tell them what your quote was about albino people?
First of all, I don't even know if it's true. But
it's
somebody
not
did.
True. That is not how it works. the fact that you even had to ask that.
I don't know if it's true because somebody did tell me this, but I don't remember. But anyway, I've never been able to find any backup evidence or anything.
Because it's not true. That's not how biology works.
At me Googling it again.
Yeah. Google it and tell me what you find. Listen to me. There are albino white people, okay? How would your hypothesis work for that? It wouldn't.
It's not my hypothesis.
All right, go on, tell the people.
Okay, so once upon a time, I was probably, 14.
You were older than that.
By the time that I told you, I was probably 16. But by the time somebody
that you found
me,
it out, yeah.
I was like probably 14. Anyway, somebody told me that the only way to make albino people is by having two black people have a kid. That's how you get an albino. I learned from biology that the way to get albinism is albino. Anyway, the way to become an albino is through genetic mutations. So whoever wronged me when I was 14 helped me wrong Gabi when I was 16.
No, first of all, I never believed that. I never thought that was true.
I did for years.
You did. Don't roll me into that. I never thought that was true. You've had a lot of very memorable quotes. Some of them I have written down in a Google Doc.
Dude, I remember when we were in San Francisco and we were like near those French people. And then I said, I can speak French too. And then I said, je want to move.
I forgot
Dude,
about that.
I swear, I got contact high that day, okay? I got contact high, and that's where there was, when we saw those hot tubs, and I said, are those caskets? And then I said, like...
You were out of your mind that day.
Okay, it was literally, like, it was hot tubs. I said, are those caskets? And then I said, when I have my funeral, I want it to be open casket so I get tan before I die.
Yeah, you were out of your mind. So... when we're in college still, and we go to a private college in like Napa Valley area, and every year on a random day we would have this little like tradition that obviously broke this year because COVID. We would have this tradition to go to San Francisco with two of our guy friends, and we would literally just go get chicken nuggets in San Francisco. The first time we went, we like walked around and like did some kind of fun stuff. The second time we went, we didn't really do much because it was already late. I think we literally just got chicken nuggets and drove back home.
Literally. But also let's not forget to mention San Francisco was an hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's not that far from us.
And it was a school night.
It was a school night. It was an hour and a half away from where our college is. It's not very far from us, so we went. Anyway, I think the most fun part of those trips was the drive over.
Oh my God, bro.
It was
we
also
almost
the most
died.
thrilling because, yeah, our guy friend that was driving almost killed us. He went down.
It was a one-way.
And a semi-truck was coming towards us. I don't even know how he got out of it. And he also he had to drive over the boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost died. I remember the first time that we went was the same day that I got my first tattoo, this one.
Yes.
I remember that. That was a fun day.
I just remember Ty doing a backflip. The dog that they chained to the thing, and then we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, these people were like at a bar across the street or something, and they had chained their dog up to a tree or like to a pole or something.
And then they got mad at us.
Yeah, we were just walking past it, looking at the dog. We weren't even petting it. We were just looking at it. And the poor little thing looked like so scared and anxious. And the owner was just like across the street having the time of his life at a bar. And the dog was like freaking out. And we were looking at it. And then the people yelled at me from across the street. They're like, oh, get away from my dog. And then I yelled back. Because, no, fucking take care of your dog. Like, what are you doing? Anyway.
Then there was that guy who was talking to the birds. Also, we only have 5 minutes. Just so this was so fast. It always goes by fast.
Every time. Yeah, those were fun trips.
The guy with the birds, and then he was like shooting the TV. He was like, "I'm gonna shoot you."
Yeah, he was fun. He was going around like this. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you.
And then there was that one guy dressed as, I don't remember what. It was probably Mario, and he had like 2 dogs with him.
He was in a onesie, wasn't he? I don't know. He was in something.
Dude, good times. Okay, so we have 4 minutes left. What are we going to talk about in these last 4 minutes? I feel like we have to reel it in. Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we have to wrap it back up with our obsessions. So so what did your obsessions as a teenager or whenever you had them, what did they teach you?
They taught me that I haven't changed much as a person. Had me still in my emo phase.
Mine taught me that I have a thing for English and Irish men.
Justin Bieber is Canadian. Say
not him.
Canadian.
Not him. The One Direction boys. And they also, I think, because that was the first time I was really ever like, no, Joe Jonas was the first boy that I was ever like obsessed with. He was my first boyfriend in my head. You know. But yeah, it taught me that I really like boys and that I'm straight. That was never in question for me. One Direction came around and I was like, yep.
My first boyfriend was American Dragon Jake Long. And my first girlfriend was Rose from American Dragon Jake Long.
I just saw a picture. You sent me a picture of Rose the other day, and it is exactly your type. Like,
and look at American Dragon Jake Long.
Yeah, also. That explains so much. Holy crap, I just realized that. Kachi has a very specific type in men and women, and both of those cartoon characters explain it perfectly.
For women, it's mostly blonde.
You like very blonde, dainty women.
Yes, and then for men, it's mostly guys with tattoos. Which, I mean, American Dragon Jake Long, you see him and you're like, wait, he doesn't have tattoos, but he has green stripe things in his hair. It's interesting
because you like very like, well, now it's changed a little bit, but you like very like masculine men and you like very like feminine women. It's interesting. It's
one side of the spectrum or the other.
Yeah, literally.
Anyway, I guess this is where we're gonna end the podcast. Because we are out of time on this Zoom meeting.
Remember to be kind to each other and to wipe your ass.
And don't do drugs. Just give hugs and don't lick hugs, but
give like, consensual hugs.
Give consensual. Yes.
Consent. Don't go hugging random people. Some people don't like it.
Very important.
Okay.
Very important.
All right.
All right. Adios.